This is what it looks like when a person is subscribed to you for over a year and they just magically show up and they see a post and they want to make a response versus actually watching the content that is directly on the video. So I made a post directly about the video dealing with R. Kelly and one of the supposed individuals who stated that she is a victim, right? And on that post, I wrote this. I keep asking the same question that people seem not to care about slash seem not to ask. Where are the parents and the guardians of the teens people keep speaking on? And why is it that only one person is to blame? Why not put everybody in prison? Those who saw the tapes, who were slash are part of the case, and throw the parents slash guardians in jail for allowing this to happen and take place. But magically, for some reason, when I say throw the parents away, people want to defend and body block for the parents and say that they didn't know and that it's unfair to blame them. Also, I just want to make it very clear that I stated in the video that at no way, shape, or form is this like a type of defense in my body blocking or anything like that for R. Kelly. I'm simply asking questions that obviously most adults are not smart enough to ask, which is baffling to me given the fact that a lot of adults say that they care about kids, but obviously not if they don't want to ask the hard questions. They want to ask the questions that a lot of people are afraid to ask. They want to actually critically think and they want to question a lot of the people who state that they are victims and they're realistically not. Like I said, my thing is to pose these questions and to get a lot of the nonsense out of the way so you can focus on the actual people, right, that are affected by these things. So this is what this subscriber stated, right? So R. Kelly deserves freedom because no one else is being punished because the parents don't care, and that means what R. Kelly did isn't a crime. We know for a fact that he has had many minors. We know for a fact that he keeps a gaggle of women locked up in his home. Just because his victims were served to him on a silver platter doesn't negate the fact that he is an individual that went after them. This is when people start looking like clowns. And I'm going to state that due to the fact that I brought out factual evidence, which is the words directly from one of the individuals who claimed that she is a victim who had signed a NDA, non-disclosure agreement, whatever it was. And she said that she broke that in order to represent and speak directly for the victims. Now, like I said before, you could take that as you want to take it. This is also the same exact individual by her own words. She skipped school multiple times, multiple days in order to go out and seek out specifically Robert Kelly to specifically go to his trial. And then later on ended up in a type of adult relationship with said Robert Kelly. Like I said, I'm going to use my words again. She sought him out because it's a little bit confusing to me that in one hand we can sit up here and say, oh yeah, teens, they're, teenage girls, they progress, a lot further than a lot of males their age. They're a lot smarter and intellectual, they're a lot more knowledge based, versus the males in their age range, right? So if we're going to go by that logic, that then means that somebody's going to want to be with somebody who is on that same type of level mind wise, correct? Which is why every time you see girls in high school, they actively go after the guys. And let me repeat that again, they actively go after the guys who are older than them. This is why when girls are in high school, they actively go after guys who are in their 20s and so on, because they're on that same type of mental level, right? And they're not actively chasing the guys or going after the guys who are amongst their age range. Why is that? I wonder. So, like I said, which one is it? Are we going to say that teenage girls are, more intelligent? They're further beyond the guys of their age, or are we going to say that they're weak, deaf, dumb, and stupid? Which one is it? Because it's a little bit baffling to me that when it comes to certain circumstances, oh, magically she knew exactly what it is that she's doing. But when it comes into circumstances like this, oh no, she was innocent. She was coerced. It's these men out here. They're just taking advantage of this, that, and the third. These girls don't even know what any of this stuff is. They're oblivious to this. These men are just looking to sit up there and try to do X, Y, and Z and da 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 da. Which one is it? Which one is it? Because I told y'all a multitude of times a story that I had when I was in school where we had a young black dude who was he not a tutor, but he was a substitute teacher. He was a backup for the Rams, and he was just there at the school, right? And I guess on his time off, this is what he was doing, being a substitute teacher. And I told you how the girls were actively and seeking this guy out. How they would sit up there and come there in skirts and all this other type of stuff and hike up those skirts. And they would try to be all around him. And they would try to drop pens and pencils and bend over to pick him up to actively seek out and get his attention. This dude was minding his own business, just doing what it is that he wanted to do. But this is what they wanted to do. Like I said before, but people want to play stupid out here. And this is what stupid looks like. So it's like it's amazing to me that other guys can more than likely tell stories just like this, but then the world will be like, "Oh no, that's no, it's no, it's not even ha ha." I'm like, "Come on, man. Come on, man. Like what are we doing? Like what realistically are we doing?" And then on top of that, this as I stated before, having somebody out here claim that they're a victim is dismantling, is serving as an injustice, and it's also doing irreparable damage to actual real victims who have gone through and actually suffered this, where they've had individuals, and I'm going to say individuals because you have more than just men out here that go after them, but for this specific case, you have men out here that specifically go out there, right? And they'll sit up there and they sought out those women and they did a variety of heinous things to them, which they deserve to sit up there and serve time for. Better yet, they shouldn't even be alive. But due to the fact that you have women out here lying in order to profit directly off of the stories of these victims, this is why actual victims are not even respected. This is why actual victims are laughed at. This is why actual victims don't even report the crimes that take place. And this is why a lot of people even question victims because you have a lot of people out here that are profiting off of the hurt, the pain, the anguish, right? The sadness, the depression of these actual victims who have had to go through this. And that's ridiculous to me. And my main thing that I called out three things there, right? I called out that one quote unquote supposed victim on the fact that she lied multiple times in order to do the things that she wanted to do. I called out anybody who was basically a part of the case who watched those videos and played those videos in courtroom. If we're going to say that that type of material is illegal, it is illegal and it should not be played at all. There's no reason that people should be playing 30 minutes and whatever amount of seconds of footage that we all know, right, is deemed illegal. Nobody should be watching it. Everybody should be thrown away and put in prison and serving time if they actually watched it, right? Because that's normally how the laws work. Once they catch you, once they understand that you were there and you actually watched this, oh yeah, you're serving time. And the victim was one of the people who also watched the tape. And then also called out the fact that the parents. You mean to tell me that your daughter is sitting up there skipping school, parents or the guardians, whoever. You mean to tell me that your daughter is skipping school and for whatever reason, you no radars went off, test quizzes, all this stuff that you need in order to pass. Like, so what are we saying? Like, are we saying that she was just a straight A student and she did what some of the Asian students be doing, where it's like they'll get the whole weeks or 2 weeks or the month worth of work and they'll sit up there and do it within a week and turn it in so they don't have nothing to do and they can do whatever it is that they want to do? I'm not believing that. I need some evidence on that because that is not normally how it works when it comes to black students in schools. That's not how it works. That's not. So, like I said, I would need some type of proof, valid proof, factual proof to show me that that was the case for all 4 years. Because she carried on a relationship with this man for about what, since she was what? They said 15, 16, all the way up until about 2010. Like I said, there's a so that was from the start of the case all the way up until like after, right? And then I also called out the school. I'm like, yo, so you mean the superintendent, the principal, the teachers, nobody was like, ring, ring, ring. Hey, parents, your child has been, absent such and such amount of days. We don't know where she is. You need to let us know something so that, we could just send you a work booklet of the work that we are going to be doing for the X amount of weeks or however long it is that you guys are going to be on vacation. Nobody sent any notifications. Nobody was, you used to call me on my cell phone. No, nobody was doing that. Nobody was doing that. So I'm like, so you mean to sit up here and tell me that all the adults that should have been looking after this child was magically not looking, and then you want to sit up here and try to blame this dude for everything that took place there when she was the one that specifically put herself directly in that situation? No, no, nobody mind controlled the Professor X to her to get her to that trial and to skip school for numerous amounts of days and to be in a relationship with a grown man. Nobody told her to do that. She did that on her own, under her own willpower. Nobody used a power ring. Nobody used any type of Zantana backward spells. Nobody used any type of devil's breath. Nobody did anything. So, like I said before, every single time I do videos, I bring up a lot of these questions. And it always seems that, as I stated earlier, whenever I state that the parents need to be thrown away and other adults that are involved needs to be thrown away, not just one person, this is when you have people trying to deflect and they just want to have the focus where they want to have the focus. Like I said, if you have your own personal experiences that you have gone through that you never talked to anybody about, then that's you. I don't got nothing to do with that. You need to either go see a therapist, you need to sit up there and go talk to somebody. Something, needs to, take place and directly happen with that. Like I said, whatever your feelings are, those are clearly your feelings and your experiences. I'm dealing with facts here when it deals with this story. You are clearly dealing with emotions. That's the difference. So, like I said before people decide that they want to leave a comment and they just want to speak on something just because, instead of making an ass out of yourself, make sure you at least listen to the content that I'm providing and stating before you make an ass out of yourself.